Okay, we're back. I'm having some technical difficulties. I had to get going. Hey, welcome to A Realtor's Guide to Multifamily Investing. We're here from the multifamily migration. I'm super excited. As you can tell, I'm in my office working today. Got the blinds closed because the sun was blaring in. It's never fun, but thankfully I've got some blinds. So, hey, I'm so glad that you're here. Are you ready to get going? Let's do this. All right. So, I hope everyone knows who Robert Kiyosaki is. You know who he is, right? It's very important. He wrote a book a while back, his first book that is very important, called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And this is one of the things that he said in his many quotes. I read the book when it came out a long time ago, and it's always kind of stuck with me. If you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I highly, highly recommend it. It will change your outlook on a lot of things. And then you'll just want to keep going. Real estate. I love real estate. I hope you do too. And if you're not killing it in residential real estate, it's not your fault. Let's be honest. There are millions of realtors out there, very professional, serious real estate agents that are competing with their clients' uncles, cousins, neighbors. I personally had one just recently where I was helping a friend and a client and somebody I refer a lot of business to he wanted to buy a house, so he wanted to go get in the process. And then it turns out his father-in-law is an agent somewhere in his 70s, hasn't done anything with his license in decades, doesn't even know our market. It lives in Northern California from where I'm at. And he's like, hey, I'm going to help. I'm sorry, I got to have my father to help me. And I'm like, how can I feel bad? Like it's his family. However, I had been laying that groundwork and putting in that effort for a long time in hopes that I could help serve him one day. And I got cut out. And that's just one of the problems we face as real estate agents. There's a lot of information out there. And it can be super confusing trying to work our way through our clients and just get through the noise and the crowd of how much competition we face. And to top off the competition, maybe you're afraid of what is supposed to come. I had the same fear. I've been paranoid about a recession coming because I got my teeth kicked in so bad on the last one when I was just a young man just getting married. And I'll get to that story later. Unfortunately, a change is coming. It's just a matter of time when it comes, and it's up to us to figure out how to weather that storm. According to the National Association of Realtors, 200,000 agents dropped out of the industry, stopped being real estate agents by 2012 after the 2008 recession had really sunk in. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of realtors just gone. It allowed for the cream of the crop, of course, to rise, but those who were just making their way, they got hurt, as many of us did. I at the time wasn't a real estate agent. As of 2018, there are now 1.36 million real estate agents. That's up 160,000 agents from 2008. So there's obviously been more and more people coming into the real estate agent workforce that may be exiting the real estate workforce as the economy shifts. I have had this fear. I don't want you to have it. On top of all of this, we've got technology coming at us. It seems like everybody's coming for our jobs. Who knows what the long-term effects of these new technology tools that are coming into the workplace are going to be. And worse than the technology, we're getting buyers who have expectations changed by these technologies. They're hearing the market and the marketing that some of these buying processes can be done cheaper. They expect more work from their agent, and they want to provide less value in a lot of times. So there's always a crunch on our commission. Buyers and sellers are valuing our expertise less and less. And then if we go and we start looking at the people who are trying to disrupt this economy, I'm sure you've all heard of them as real estate agents. We have. How could you not? Zillow, Trulia, if we use these tools, that costs us money. How many of you are or have a friend that is a real estate agent buying leads off of Zillow? Yeah, sure, they're making $200,000 a year in commissions, but they're spending $100,000 in leads. It's painful. How can we weather this storm with everybody coming? So, maybe you got into real estate, becoming a real estate agent because you wanted more time freedom. In my case, it's always been, I like being a real estate agent. I work half days. I get to pick my 12 hours. How many times, have I missed out on something for my family, an event on a weekend because I got to do an open house? Just so many things coming in and just showing us. When I did my first house, what did you do when you did your first house? How did you celebrate? My celebration was one of Disneyland. Kind of like the commercial, like, you just won the blah, blah, blah. What are you going to do next? I'm going to Disneyland. And that's one of my favorite places. I want to take my family and my kids because my kids hadn't really been, and there's nothing like the magic of watching Disneyland through the eyes of a child. It's just so special. And we hadn't been on vacation in a long time. So we took our family, and I didn't worry about a paycheck. I didn't worry about money because I had more money in my checking account than I had ever had after one closing. And I didn't worry about it for 2.5 days. It was wonderful. That stress that sits on your shoulders that you can feel about bills, the next escrow, how you're going to get your next lead. I let it go for 2 days. It was wonderful. And by the end, when we were leaving, that pressure crept back in. Where's the stress? The stress of the next paycheck. Where am I going to get it from? Yeah, I took a break from it, but I didn't send it away. So again, that didn't give me more freedom. Is this how you build wealth? I was thinking to myself, especially as a new real estate agent, like, no, they say real estate agent, billionaires come from being in real estate. Yeah, they come from owning real estate, not necessarily selling it. Selling it can get you a great return, but it may not make you truly wealthy. And you probably suspect that real estate isn't the solution you thought it would be. And as I have done this more and more, I have more concerns about that. Because what if I'm right? What if you're right? What if this isn't the key? What if this isn't the way? So, you got to take it back and rewind. What are your dreams? This is why I am so happy you're here. Thank you so much. Real estate is the key. It's the key to your prosperity, even in the face of a coming economic downturn. According to Forbes, there are 223 billionaires with a B who made their fortune in real estate, which is 10% of the wealthiest individuals in the world. Amazing. How do they do it? This means that you have a huge advantage. You're already in the game of real estate, as am I. We just need to get you into the right niche. All right, so a couple of goals, because you'll learn that I'm a soccer guy. So goals, that kind of made sense. So what are those? I just want to clarify during the presentation. I've got 3 of them for you. I'm going to share the 3 secrets to introduce you to multifamily real estate that will hopefully break some false beliefs about multifamily real estate. I'll explain why you want to move and help your clients move to and from single family to multifamily. You might be like me, professional realtor, but you haven't been in the business a super long time and you're worried that your client base might not get you through the next economic downturn. So then this training's for you. Or maybe you're on the other side of the coin and you're selling ridiculous number of homes. You're a high producing agent and you're looking for ways to expand your offerings and give you that unique value that you can present to your clients to make yourself more valuable. This training will help you do just that. So let's get going. All right, goal number 2. is to convince you that multifamily real estate is the only way to expand in real estate. And hopefully we're the way to get you there. This is a long learning curve, as I'll go into, and I want to help you compress that time. So a little bit before we get going with these you probably want to know a little bit about me. I would. Why not? If I'm talking, who's this guy I'm talking to? You're like, who is he? Want to know about him? Well, hey, a little bit about me. I have 3 kids. They're 12, 9, and 2. I've been married for almost 14 years to my beautiful wife, and we haven't had an easy path since we got married. We got just life happened to us. We bought a condo in 2005, December of 2005. By 2006, we already went upside down, so that wasn't fun. And then, of course, we lived in sin for a little bit, which is something we had to work through. And then we got married shortly after. And during that time, we dealt with a recession, with cancer in our families, people passing away from helping taken care of, job changes, job depression, just, the recession. It was a tough time. So it hasn't been easy. And I want to, and I share all my work on social media. So come find me. You can come find me at the Multifamily Migration. And I post a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, so you can kind of see like the stuff I'm geeking out on and nerdy, super happy about. And also the Multifamily Move. There's 2 different companies. I'll talk about those in a minute. So who am I? What I used to be? I used to be a professional soccer coach. And I want to say I was a good coach. However, the reality is I was a great coach. I was very good at what I did. I took it seriously, and I worked long and hard to get to that point. I had every licensing up until recently when I changed some of it. And I had every top level licensing you could get here in the United States. And that came about because I started having dreams. I was given this special little team of good little boys. And I started having nightmares that I failed them. So I was like, oh, how do you get rid of this? Like, well, you better go get better, Ruben. So I started taking more coaching classes and more until I got them all. And then it's like, okay, what do you do from here? You're like, well, you go to Spain and learn it. Okay, you go to Spain. What do you do from here? Go to Germany. So I started traveling around. And the good thing about being a soccer coach was it's highly rewarding because I was able to view the success of the people I helped, the children that I helped. And now in life, that's my greatest joy, to see that they're good human beings. They're making their way in the world. And I just like to think that maybe I helped. I can't claim credit. I just like to think I pitched in along the way. Some of them have played at high levels. Some of them have done amazing things in life. My greatest joy is watching that. But being a soccer coach didn't provide a great living. It was a job. And I had my family, young family, and I went to the grocery store, and it was one of those trips when you go and you're going to slide your credit card and you're just praying that it doesn't decline, because you're trying to tally up the numbers as you go through and you pick up the few items that you need. You don't want that decline thing, because 1, you feel awful that you don't have the money, and 2, it's just going to add mortification on top of the fact that you don't feel good. But I had my daughter with me, and she was very young at the time. And we're walking down the aisles. We go by the fruit section, and, just that little cute, chubby cheeked phase of little kid phase. And she reaches over and grabs something. She walks over, grabs them, and says, "Daddy, can I get these?" And I didn't have the money. It was $3. I didn't have $3 to buy raspberries. Now, if you know me at all, you know that I hate raspberries. Like, they're gross. I just don't like the flavor. And it crushed me because I didn't have the $3. She wasn't asking for a toy. She didn't throw a fit. I said, sorry, sweetie, we can't afford that right now. And it crushed me on the inside. Like, I get broken up thinking about it now. So in my heart and in my mind, I was like, okay, it's time for a change. How do you change? How do you create wealth? What do you like? Well, I looked at a couple of things, and then fortunately my wife's like, hey, you always talk about real estate. Why don't you get into that? Yes, real estate. So here I am, many, many years down the road, and find myself in a much better place in life. Is this a second or third career for anyone else? I'm sure there's been some of you who've had to have change somewhere. So my first year in real estate, I transitioned and I got my license somewhere in February, March. It took me a few months, and then my first sale was in June or July of that same year. And then I wanted to sell on. I went on to sell about $6 million that first year, and now I'm somewhere over 30 million. I don't really keep track. That's not a stat that excites me. I don't know. It is what it is. And while I am providing a good living for my family and myself, we're not deprived, but we're still just getting by. And we're living a very budgeted life at this phase. And, we're on this roller coaster of, okay, I have a closing in 30 days. I haven't had a closing for 60 days. Well, the money's carrying me over, but it's going to run out because I've got to budget and pay taxes. And, oh, man, can I stretch it and make it work? Well, I still have marketing fees. I got to put some money back into the business to pull out. Just that stress of being a realtor. The commission checks, or your paychecks, and it's like, I've budgeted. I've run everything professional. But there still wasn't enough turnover to provide a much, much better living for my family, and then we had, like I'd mentioned, we had a lot of death in our family from cancer. We had this thing come up, and it just got me to thinking, what happens if I get sick? What happens if I die? I'm going to leave my family with bills and no income aside from my life insurance policy, which is not big enough to wipe out all the debt and make sure that they're provided for. Well, they're going to struggle. So that's scary. What do you think about that if you're a provider and you just want to do right by children and your wife and your spouse? You know what that pressure is? I'm sure you feel me, right? So does anyone else have this fear? I know when I speak with other agents, a lot of us carry it around. What's next? So, okay, moving on. How did I get here? I went out to lunch with a client. Oh, actually, this is a picture of my son, my middle son. You could see he swiped my Rich Dad Poor Dad book with my notes in it, and he started reading it. And I read it when it first came out. It's always been with me, and I now make my children read it because I want them to just think in this manner. I have become very focused on providing generational wealth. But how did I get there? What I did was I went out to lunch with a friend and client, and on the way back to my office from lunch, I drove by this piece of real estate that I've always loved. And I noticed, it's a fourplex. And I have no tangible reason that I can say I love this. I just do. I'm sure you all have it too. As real estate agents, let's be honest. We all love real estate. We just love some more than other. And I thought to myself, like, hey, what would it take to get into a property like that, or even that one? So I get back to the office and I start like, ooh, I know how to look this up. I know how to evaluate it. I know how to do this. I'm all excited. I'm like super geeking out about it. Like, how do I do this? And what I started to learn, that was the challenge. There was a challenge in front of me. I had no idea how to buy this property with what I was currently making and still be able to make money off of it. I wasn't going to live there. That wasn't my intention. My intention was to use it as money to come in for my family so I could, kind of even out the peaks and valleys of the commission ups and downs, or the commission ectomies that my clients are all trying to put me under. So I started with this single family house, and I'm like, okay, I want to go to a fourplex. What does it take? So I start educating myself, doing a little bit of the DIY. And then I learned that to go from fourplex to an apartment complex, the time, energy, and effort is just the same. The only difference is you're adding a zero to your thinking. So how do we do that? Because residential means 1 to 4 units. Commercial is 5. What is that? What does that look like? Where do you go? It's a long learning curve to figure out how to do it. The commercial real estate agents I know, they seem like they're in a different world. Like it's a different ball game altogether. They speak in a different language. Like we're all speaking the same language, but I have no idea what they mean. So how do I get there? How do I get from here to there and go through and be successful. There's so much to learn to be successful in multifamily real estate, which means the barrier to entry is higher than residential real estate. And that's where that disconnect came from, being able to go from 4 units to 40 units. Whew, I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense? You can understand. It's a lot to learn. So that's where I wanted to get to after I learned that it took this same amount of energy, time, and effort. Now I just had to figure out the how. Okay, I know where I want to go. And this is my thoughts for you guys. Multifamily real estate, it's a game changer. Every single multifamily multifamily apartment complex owner I know is having a better life. They have money coming in even when they sleep. They struggle. Things burn up. They get flooded. They get mold. They have problems of everyday houses, yet they seem to just brush it off like sand off their shoulders. Just brush it off. Flew on them from the beach. Just brush it off. No problem. So easy as pushing off a little bit of dry snow when you're in Colorado and you're appreciating dry snow and you're like, wow, that's different than California. They brush it off because they're built-in security. They've got money coming in every month. They have plans and money in reserves to handle catastrophes. So, a lot of people tend to believe that a multifamily apartment complex, it is too much for them. It's too challenging. The whole thing is simply too complex. Complex and complex. So that's why I created my 2 companies. First, the Multifamily Move. We help educate multifamily to the rental home owners of the country. We show them what it takes to go from the little greenhouse in Monopoly to the big red house. That's exactly what you can do. You can see it in our logo. Then we also have the multifamily migration. The multifamily migration is education for you. It's showing you how I am doing it myself and how I'm helping others to go and find these people that have the little greenhouse and get them to the big red house. We're giving you the education you need, the tools, the tips, how to bring in those clients. We're showing you how to do that. We want to make it easier for you to show your clients to get into multifamily. Our goal is to help you create monthly cash flow so that when you don't have an escrow closing for 6 months, 10 months, next year, you still have monthly cash coming in. So that if there is any given of time between your last closing in escrow and your next closing, you still have money coming in. If the time is short between your escrows, hey, great. There's more money coming in. You're awesome. You're doing it in a great place. It alleviates stress. We feel like this will allow all of our realtors, all of my realtor friends, to do a better job because they're not carrying on the stress of their own personal bills. So now they can truly have the best interest of their clients in their hearts and their minds so that you can do what is right because you're taken care of. Can you imagine, you do this, you take care of your clients and you make more money doing it? This is how you do it. And we're going to get into those. This is the kind of real estate, multifamily real estate, is the kind that provides generational wealth for your family. So if you're gone, they're still making money and you did a good job because you got them there. This, like I said, is a long learning curve. We're the fast track. We are here to compress time so that you can accelerate your learning curve and you don't have to spend years and years like I did doing this. And then of course, back to our picture here. Do you want to run and jump over all those hurdles or do you just want to sprint to the finish? We can help take those hurdles out. Here's the fun part for me. Anyway, I love this part. So I had a client that invested $75,000 into a multifamily apartment complex. Now, granted, she had $400,000. She was only willing to give me $75,000 because she's like, I want to test you out. This sounds too good to be true. And I said, no problem, ma'am. Let me show you how we do this legally. Here's everything it takes. So she was making $1,900 a month off of $400,000. And she had to do everything. She was managing the tenants. She was managing any repairs. She went over and collected the checks. It was a lot of work for her because this was on top of her full-time job. And she's thinking about retiring. And when she retires, she doesn't want to manage any of it. She just wants to be relaxed and done. So in preparation for retirement, she's like, hey, I'm going to put $75,000 in and I'm going to test you out, see what this does. And her goal is to do as little as possible for the return. Okay. She's now making, off of $75,000, she's making $5,250 for a year for doing nothing. And that's distributed monthly. So the checks are, divided by 12. She has no management calls, no tenants, no stress. The only thing that she does is, if she elects to, she opens her email and reads where we're at in executing the business plan. She picks up my phone call from time to time to hear what I've got to share with her, which is just what we're doing in the business plan. And then we do a webinar to show her, like, here's pictures and here's what it looks like now and here's all the improvements. So there's no stress in her. When we call her, it's always for good news. Now, we are on a 5-year projected plan exit for this particular property. So in 5 years, she's going to get her $75,000 back plus $60,000 for a projected total of $135,000, which is pretty darn good. Her profit for that time period is $86,000, just $86,250. So just a little over $86,000. Pretty good over that. And she's done nothing other than let the money roll into her checking account. I've always wanted to do this. And you're the first, so I'm sorry if I'm enjoying this. But wait, there's more! All right. The huge tax break that she is enjoying is incredible. Because we followed the law and we did a very expensive report, she is now allowed to take depreciation. I won't get into that yet. She's taking a loss on the property on paper. However, that loss means that she gets to keep all of the $5,000 a year that she's distributed. And depending on her personal situation, she probably won't be paying taxes on any of the money that she's making from this property. We're going to be actually showing as a loss. And that's a very big, long conversation, which we won't get in here today. But I just need you to know that it exists. Isn't that cool? We just show you the right questions to ask your accountant. So my client loved me for that. She's keeping her money, whereas before she's getting taxed. Okay. So it was kind of a joke, but let's be honest, like, if we do all this work, we got to know what it's in it for us, right? So this might make your head explode because my wife's almost did when I showed her what I did. So this is so fun. So, okay. My first $75,000 into an apartment complex, I made $2,475 for buying the apartment complex, which I also own. I have a piece of ownership on that. And I didn't pay an acquisition fee, or excuse me, I didn't pay a commission brokerage fee. This all came straight to me personally because this was above and beyond what I have in relationship to my brokerage. This is entirely separate. Completely legal, nothing wrong, just doing extra work. And so I had no broker split, no TC fees, no escrow fees. I just got paid $2,400. So the next part was I also become an equity partner. To become what is known as a capital raiser, you have to actually own a piece of the property. What you're doing is you're solving a problem for the person who is trying to buy the complex. Those people are called syndicators. They're just a group of people or person that is putting together a team to buy something bigger. The syndicator needs help. They need money brought in. They're willing to give you a piece of the ownership of the property if you bring money in. And that's exactly what I did. I brought money in. So now all I have to do is maintain a relationship with the syndicator, find out what's going on, and report back to my investor. Everybody's happy because I'm never calling for anything bad. So there's no stress on me. It's quite enjoyable. For this, I earn $1,134 every year. Again, I didn't put any of my personal money in. All I had to do was bring my client the deal. Isn't that amazing? Like, I get money distributed monthly for stuff I do already. I already call my clients to check in on them because I'm always looking for the next lead. Now I'm calling them for good news, and they're happy to throw me leads because I give them good news. So it makes it happy. And then after 5 years, this is the best part. I'm projected to make $48,000 for them, for the syndicator selling the property. I'm not doing anything, they are. I'm going to get a check for 48 grand. Oh, and by the way, I also get to claim that tax break on all that because I have ownership in the property. Have you ever sold a house and actually got ownership in the next house? It doesn't work that way. Super, super exciting. I'm sorry if I get super excited about this, but I'm like, woo! $53,000 in the next 5 years? Like, that's crazy. Are you kidding me? What? Like, I've never had a commission check that big for $75,000 worth of real estate because that's all I did. Usually it's like 3% of $75,000 that's what I'll make. And that's it. And then I got to pay taxes on it. I got to pay brokerage and commission splits and all, all that stuff. Before you know it, like, holy wow. Nope. Mm-mm. Seriously, how amazing is that? Like, I'm sorry if I get all excited, but it's true. So I want to get you some secrets. Moving on to good stuff here. Here are the 3 secrets I'll be sharing with you. Are you ready? All right. Number 1, how to connect with a new base of clients that are way easier to work with. Number 2, how to make more money in residential real estate by connecting to new clients. Okay, it's important. And then number 3, how to step away from selling residential real estate houses for a commission check and into selling residential real estate houses for a share of an investment. That's where you're going to start to create wealth for yourself and your family so that if you don't sell a house for a while, you can still breathe without that weight on your shoulders. Okay, secret number 1. You're a realtor, you know all about the business. You know the connections, you know how real escrows work. You have a step up on multifamily real estate. You're going to understand a lot of the basic concepts. Remember, this is the same business, just a new niche. All right, here we go. So my goals are twofold for this. I want you to be able to gain financial freedom from the earning roller coaster of residential real estate, just like I did for myself and my family. Number 2, I want to get as many people to join me on this so they can have the freedom that I am personally seeking. And the idea is here is that you can go further faster with a team. I need more people because there is huge opportunities that I will be able to share with you as time comes up that I've already laid the groundwork for. So there's great opportunities ahead of us. All right, so moving on to the story here. All right, I am a comic book nerd. I used to read comic books. That's how my parents used to get me to read because I hated reading books. They'd buy me comic books. So as superhero comics have been turned into movies, like I'm super nerdy about it. I love it. And my brother would have loved it too, but he's watching from a different place. So if you have seen Avengers, I apologize if it's a spoiler, but let's be honest, it's on like Blu-ray and DVD stuff. It's already out of theaters. Highest grossing film of all time. The build up to this, one blockbuster movie, there has been segments and pieces where they've all gone out and done their own thing and they got their own special movie and then they all come together as a team. Well, each person has a unique skill, trait, or ability that when they come together as a team, it allows them to do bigger things. In this case, they're able to defeat a much bigger villain, right? Biggest of the baddies, they took them down, no problem. In our case, when we team up, we're able to do things like take down $52 million properties. That's pretty badass. But it took a team. All I do is play one role on the team, and I can show you how to do it. And so instead of buying one house, you're buying a bunch of real estate at once. One renter under one roof or 320 renters under, I think we have 3 roofs. It's crazy. But it takes a team to do this, and I didn't realize that I don't need to do this all by myself. That was a false belief that I had. So how do you do that? How do you connect people together to solve bigger problems? We're real estate agents. We already do it. As realtors, hey, you want to buy a house? That's terrific. Let me connect you to this lender. Okay, we got a house that you like? Let me connect you to this home inspector. Okay, now we need an escrow company. Now we need a title company. We're connecting people all over the place. It's what we do all the time. We just don't ever realize that that's our power. That's a skill. It's a special trait. Now let's connect that person with money in their house to something bigger. It's super powerful. So finally I figured out that I'm already doing residential real estate, but I need to connect investors to multifamily real estate. So it allowed for bigger deals by simply connecting the two people that don't talk as much as they should. And residential real estate investors tend to believe that multifamily is way out of their reach. They need a guide. They need the person that will ferry them across on the ship. And that's where we come in. All right. So you might also be thinking here, how you may not fully understand how helping your clients invest in multifamily real estate will allow them or allow you to make money off of someone else's investment. And to be honest with you, my wife didn't understand this the first time I explained it to her. She gave me one of these. Huh? There's what? She looked at me and I could see the big question mark on her face. And then I started thinking to myself, like, you know what? This is not the way we're brought up. We're brought up to save your money, save it all up, then go out and buy something, do it on yourself. You manage it. It's your responsibility. But we all know the saying, you can go further, faster with a team, right? Are you following me? So it's a good question to ask, how do you explain this process? So in other words, how is there enough money to go around? And here's the truth. Real estate, as you can see, real estate investments here, there's money abound for this, to pay not only the people that put money in, but pay someone to manage it for them. When I began my quest for knowledge, I knew that properties in other parts of the world, I live in California, so it's a different weird place over here, made a bunch of money, but it blew my mind how much money they were making. And seriously, if you're like me and you're in California, like our market it's expensive. We're in the wrong place. It's wild here in California. So how do we do this? Like, how is there enough money going around? And the truth is that you have to buy the property right, just like anything else. Got to get the right deal. But moving on to secret number 2. Okay. How can we make more money? Now, not make more money just in our everyday residential real estate lives. I love helping new first-time home buyers. Like, it's joyful when you close because it's the beginning of life. They're going to start their family. It's super exciting. It's super rewarding. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Now, but from a business standpoint only, if you step back after the transaction, how much time did you spend there? How much stress did you go through to help them work through simple things like a request for repairs? Did they want everything? And you kind of had to talk them off a ledge so they don't like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, jump off the ledge and escrow's over. No. You got to guide them to the finish line. It takes up a lot of time. While it's super rewarding, I only have so much time to be able to go out and create business. So I'm limited on what I can do. And I have to say that it is way easier to educate people that have already been through the process of real estate, that already have a basic understanding of things. Yeah, they may not do it every day, so they don't necessarily know all the ins and outs, but that's what we're here for. That's what we get paid for, is our value and our expertise. it's a lot easier to educate those people to, especially the ones that have money in an investment property, on how to get from the greenhouse to the red house. And those are the clients that we can seek. So go after them, start making connections with them. There's lots of different groups you can join, different places to find them. It's not difficult stuff. You just got to look under the right rock. Okay. If you're like me, you get hit up a ridiculous number of times for new marketing strategies. How many of you had this phone call today? Hi, I'm with Social Media 123, and we're helping realtors like you get more leads in your market. And we also can build you a website and automate your social media posts so that you can get 2 to 4 new leads every month. Do you think you could handle 2 new closings every month? And then they're like, okay. Are you in front of your computer for a 10-minute presentation? Okay, you go through the 10-minute presentation if you're polite, and then you find out they want, I don't know, some stupid amount of money that is not guaranteed to make you anything or bring you quality leads. It's frustrating. You try to be polite. Sometimes you just get annoyed like me, and you're just like, all right, click. I've had 6 of these phone calls today. Stop calling me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go away. Right? So, you can tell it's just never fun. And if we deal with all of that, many residential real estate agents are just like, hey, I'm not interested in a complex marketing system. And I can't blame them. That's the type of stuff we deal with daily. However, this is not complex. It just takes a little bit of education, and the rewards are massive. You're already doing the work. Add this tool in, add the ability to go to multifamily for your clients, and you're going to create wealth for yourself, and you're going to get paid. Like, for example, I got paid 6 times on one house. Usually you get paid 1 time at the close of escrow. How do you get paid 6 times? That's what we can do. That's the tools that are available to us. And I'm already doing it. So are you. Super exciting. I'm sorry if I get rambunctious here. Okay. You go add these in here. Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm geeking out a little bit. How many of you have had, I had this story where you go and you help a client. You help somebody that was referred to you. You're like, great. When a referral comes in from a friend that you already sold a house to, they tend to be good people, right? Well, so I started working with this referral that came in from a longtime friend, like way back to like when I was a kid. And the referral came in. So I don't want to fail my friend because they're still my friend and I've known them for decades. I show them no less than 30 houses. Many of the houses we went to multiple times. I got them into their first house that they loved, and I had to whip out all the realtor tricks to get our offer accepted. So that wasn't easy. And then they panicked and freaked out and had me cancel the escrow only to want to get back into it within 4 days' time. Like, it was a roller coaster ride, emotional roller coaster all over the place. I was beating my head against a wall because I'm trying to do what their wishes were, and I don't want to fail my friend who sent them to me. And then it turns out they went out open housing around, and I get the phone call a couple of days later because they went dark on me, and I knew something was up. You follow me, you know what's coming next, right? We got the phone call saying, hi, Ruben. We put an offer in on a house, and the agent gave us their entire buyer's commission back towards the purchase price of the home. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, so, yeah, like, I don't blame people. Like, I get it. Like, it's super aggravating. But what are you going to do? I took responsibility. It was my fault. The lesson I should have learned was that, you can't necessarily fault somebody for wanting to try to save money, but I didn't put them under some sort of buyer's contract. I've never done them. It's just never been my way. So, let's be honest, that was my fault. I probably should have. I should have known better. I didn't. Oh, well, lesson learned, right? And I'm not under any illusions here that a real estate investor won't cut me out from a deal. If they find the opportunity, they'll cut me right out, right? Especially on single family houses. In commercial, not so much. It's just a different world, and it's a different class of people. There's not as much emotion to it. It's all tied to numbers. So I'm under no false impression with investors. But if I can bring, or you can bring, more importantly, value, very specific value and a special skill to the interaction with them, they'll want to do deals with you. I'm getting things that blow my mind that I should not be getting, but because I have a plan, I have something that they want. Does that make sense? When your investor wants something, how many of you guys get the robocalls saying, "Hi, this is Joe Stevens from contracting company. If you have any off-market flips or fixers, please let us know, and we'd be happy to have you represent us on both sides." Like, okay, whatever. Click, hang up. Thanks for the robocall. But when you go after the people that are a step above them that own a rental house, and they just want to get money in every month, and they want less headaches, less burden, less stress. When you go after those people and you provide them value and you show them that, hey, there's a different way and I can reduce your headaches and your stress, they love you and they want to help you. I hope this is all making sense. I apologize if I'm dragging on. Let's keep moving on. So here we go. Here we go. I took all of this as a learning experience, like I said, and I needed to find a new type of client, and that client is the investor. How do you go after them with something that they can find valuable, not just the next rental house, something more, something bigger, because that's what they do. They're in it. They're investing for a return. Let's provide them a better return with tax breaks, and that's why I decided to go after them wholeheartedly. Okay, so some of us might be thinking that you're not interested in spending a bunch of time looking into new markets or commercial real estate. And you know what? This is not about you bringing in a how, it's bringing in a who. You have to stop thinking this way. Your market, you should be a specialist. Other markets, get the specialist to help you. It's the who, not the how. We can help you with these. If you have a team around you, your productivity will go up, right? How many of you have somebody that helps you handle your paperwork through a transaction? How many of you have somebody that helps you with an escrow? How many of you have somebody that helps you with a loan? I don't do all of those things. I focus on one portion of the process. And it allows me to do more because I'm focusing on one piece. It's kind of like when you see a car being built. I'm sure you've all seen the videos where they're on the assembly line. One guy does one job, and he's fast at it. He's good at it. That's what we're like. Our productivity can go way up, and it can make things happen for us fast. All right. So again, you need to fix your thinking. As much as I hate the term shortcut, this is the shortcut. You can change your business, and it won't require you to do anything additional. Just add a little bit to what you're already doing. Are you with me? Okay. Secret number 3. Oh, all right. Went through that a little fast, didn't I? Let's back up a step here. So secret number 3, okay? This is the important part. When you sell a house, you get your commission check and you think, woohoo, shopping. I'm going shopping, grab the cart, you do a little dance and woo, all right. And then before you know it, you watch the commission check dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And you're like, oh my gosh, when's the next one coming? If you're super budgeted, you've already pulled out your taxes and you've pulled out your sum for your savings, and then you go spend it. You're like, some of us aren't. We're all different. If you stay on that path, you're constantly chasing the next commission check, and you're selling real estate for commission check. I'm asking that you change your thinking and start selling real estate for a share of an investment. By going after investment property owners, we can do that. We can attain that by pushing them into something that's way bigger than they even thought they're possible. They just need to be educated. They need our help. They need our guide. We're going to get them across that lake on our boat. Okay, so here, some people will tell you, I don't know, or some real estate agents tell me, hey, I don't know how to help my clients invest in apartment buildings. And of course not. Duh. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. I did it. I'm doing it. I can help you get there. I am not the how, I'm the who. I'm the who that can help you get from there to there, so that now you can create more money for yourself. It's so exciting. And all it takes is a little bit of teamwork. I am one person on that assembly line, putting that special piece on that car, and I do it fast and I do it well. You're the other piece. You're doing another part of the car. And we're going to build this big car together, and we're going to go places really fast. I thought for a long time, as many people do, that an apartment complex is, whoa, way too big. It's beyond me. I have spent years, and I'm not kidding, years studying and educating. And that's why I'm offering you this here today. I can offer you this as a shortcut. I can compress and squeeze down the time it takes to get into your first apartment complex. I have got deals and opportunities. You've got the clients with the money. We can put them together and we can make this car whole and complete, where, I'm the who, you're the who. Let's go do this together. And if you're like me, you're impatient. I am impatient. I want to make things happen fast. And I spent years learning how to do this. And for somebody who wants to go fast, that's pretty painful, right? So I had to jump over a lot of hurdles to get here, and I'm giving you the ability to sprint to the finish line. So are you a sprinter or a hurdler? I just asking you to specialize and add value. We can add value to our partners and make the investors happy, make the people that have the apartment complexes happy, because we're giving them something that they both need. Bigger the problem we solve, the more we get paid. And let's be honest, real estate agents, all we do is solve problems, right? So, there is the need, as you can see here. I don't know what connections are out there to help me sell multifamily investing to my clients. And it's true. I didn't either. I started this, like I said, years ago, and I started with podcasts. Where else can you go to learn while you're driving all over the place? You can listen to a podcast in your car, which I highly suggest everyone do. In fact, I'll give you my list of podcasts that I listen to, and I'll even give you specific episodes to listen to. When you go in, it's kind of like you're listening to this podcast. It's kind of like when you go to some sort of ethnic restaurant and you hear somebody order in a different language and you recognize certain words. And then you're like, oh, that sounds good. I think that's what they're ordering. And then they come by with this food and it looks delicious. Like, oh, I want that. That's kind of like what this is. You're going to listen to the podcast and they're going to say all these words. You're not going to know what they mean. Oh my goodness. You're being dropped in the middle of a long conversation, listening to these experts speak, and you have no clue what they're talking about, but somehow they're still speaking your language. It's a long time to decipher it all and figure out what they mean. They mean, and you have to rinse and repeat to get through it all to try to figure out what they're saying. If you DIY your learning curve like this, it takes a long time, right? If you've ever done this on your own, it takes a long time, right? Are you with me? All right. So the truth is, I hope you're enjoying the webinar so far. Are you enjoying it so far? It's important to me. I, as you can tell, I'm super excited about all this stuff. And why waste your time when we can connect the management groups and the facilities, large investments, sorry, I have to calm down a little. Whew. Take a deep breath, Ruben. Whew. All right. Again, this is not what you know, it's who you know. We need to put your who's together so that you can expedite your process. Okay, so far, who wants to take things to the next level? Secret number one, we were talking about how to connect connect with new clients. Who are you going after? Again, who? Number two, how to make money, more money in residential real estate by connecting. Again, who? How do you do this? You are a who connecting. Okay. Number three, how can you start doing what you're already doing? Instead of selling it for a commission check, you're going to sell it. You're going to get a commission check, and you're going to get ownership, a share of the pie in the property. So now you're doing it for a share of the investment. It will make you money while you're sleeping. Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to my multifamily shift masterclass. It's a home study course, and this is what we're all about. You know, we're about helping you make passive income, you know, and we're trying to help you expedite the process, compress the time. I spent years doing this, a ridiculous amount of time. And I want to help you shrink that time down so you can get it successful and you can get money coming in before any major economic changes come. So you've got one under your belt. And then as the economic changes happen, you have more money come off your belt because you have a plan for these people that have problems. Just look at the number of baby boomers that own rental houses in your market. You have a plan. All right, so here's what you get. This is our course outline. You can see that we've got 9 modules. Each one has video lessons. They've got tools, they've got takeaways and challenges. We're gonna keep you busy, busy, busy. Not overwhelmingly so. This is, of course, self-paced. The idea here is to help you get what you need so we can build our who's together. I can be the who that helps you get there. I have a who helps me build this. I do not teach classes for a living. I do not build classes for a living. I got a who that did it. And, you know, that who just happens to have gotten a $10 million grant for his high school because he knows how to build classes. I went and got a who to help me. That's what, and he's the one helping me build this for you. One of these days I'll get him on camera too. Okay, so super exciting. Here's the proof. My client says I put $75,000 of my client's money into an investment property. My client expects to make $86,250 profit. Pretty awesome. I expect to make $48,000. What? Off of, have you ever had a paycheck, a commission that big for placing that kind of money? It was a first for me, and I'm just showing you the first one. There's way more in the pipeline that you're just gonna like, holy cow, Ruben, that's amazing. All I did was make connections. I solved a bigger problem, and you can do this too. You know, who does this work for? Okay, my residential realtors, you are my friends, you are my brothers, you're my sister. I know you can do this. And I can tell you this won't be for all of you, this won't be for everyone, but this is for you guys. This for realtors who want to add value to their clients. Everyone says there's money in a niche. Maybe you're in need of a new niche. This is residential. Oh, another one. My realtor friends who just want to make more money off of each deal. Nothing wrong with that. Money's important. It's just a tool. Help us get what we need, right? Residential real estate agents who are ready to take their business to the next level. So if you're selling a couple of houses a year and you do this just a couple of times, you're in great shape. You'll be making more money than if you doubled your houses probably. Double your house sales. So there's huge power in it. All right, some reasons why to get started. You can work less and make more with the system. You can make a little extra time in your morning and learn a new niche. I'm not asking you to learn the whole wheel over again. You're just adding to it. You're putting some fancy spokes on a wheel that you already spin. It's kind of like that. So here's what you're going to get. The multifamily masterclass shift, multifamily shift masterclass. We have a value of $2,997. I'm not charging you that, right? And it's important that you know that we have tools to give with you. So here's the ones we have ready, complete. There's more in the pipeline. I will get you those, of course, as they come along online. I'm busy building those every day. So we're going to give you a market analysis sheet, the state landlord's reference guide, where to go to find all the laws for each state. It's a pain in the neck. I can't tell you how long I spent finding them all. It's ridiculous. States are messed up. Residential home maintenance log, something you can give to the client. Like, here you go, something of value to give to them to help them with their asset. Okay, it gets you in the door. Things to consider when choosing a market. How do you pick a market outside of what you currently do? If you're like me, it doesn't work in my area to go buy an apartment complex for cash flow. Like, the amount of money you have to put in versus the amount of money you can get out, it just doesn't make sense. So if you have to go outside of your area, how do you do that? We want to show you. And then again, for your residential, not only for you, but for your clients, what are the pros and cons? We've got a sheet that kind of shows you, it shows you the pros and cons of each one. You know, an example would be, if you put $50,000 into a house versus an apartment complex, what does that look like? You got to show them, because you're giving them a picture of something they don't know. And then a terminology sheet. We're going to be using terms, and we're going to explain them and teach them, but sometimes you might need a quick reference guide. Rather than having to look it up, you can have it right there. I put them all together for you. And then, of course, one of my who's made it look pretty, because let's face it, I'm not good at designing stuff. Okay, I have been working so hard to teach clients all about this stuff. I'm creating new tools every day to illustrate the concepts for people that are casually interested. We test them and then we redo them. And as we get more feedback, we'll redo them and we're going to give them to you. It's all part of everything. So we want to teach clients about multifamily investing. We want to divulge some market insight to you so you can pass that on. And we want to get your clients excited about multifamily investing. Once they see the light, and you remind them, when you were a child and you played Monopoly, did you try to get just one greenhouse or 4 greenhouses? And then from 4 greenhouses to one big red one. The big red one was always coveted, right? Get them excited about that. Remind them. I'm reminding you, go play Monopoly, and just remember, granted, it's going to take you 6 days to play the game, but you'll remember what it takes, right? Okay, these tools are going to solve your marketing and your education challenges for you, for your new investor clients. They're going to help you understand the kinds of investments that we look for, that you look for, that you should look for. What does a good one look like versus a bad one? We're going to compress the time that it takes to figure all this out. Okay, so you might be thinking, your clients won't be interested in this system. Well, that's okay. Upgrade your clients. Maybe clients you need to solve their problem. You're going to hear about it when you're out in the world. Now that you've listened to this, you're going to hear somebody say, oh, I've got a rental house. Oh, I've got 2 rental houses. Really? What are you doing with the money in those rental houses? Do you want to sell that house? No? Okay. Do you want to refinance? Pull some money out of that and put that money to work for you? Okay. Let me show you how to do that. Call your lender. Your lender will help you refinance. You put the money to work, you're going to get paid. It's fantastic. Super exciting. You can tell I geek out about this. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Whew. All right. If this is the case and your people aren't interested, maybe you should upgrade your clients. Once you hear about this, you're going to see it opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. I third 3 of them today, and all I did was go to lunch. Granted, I went to lunch where I know those people eat because I'm trying to listen to them and connect with them, make friends. Okay, moving on to tools package. I'm digressing. Again, this is just what we're starting with. There's tons of other tools inside the multifamily shift that just aren't complete yet, and I won't put my name behind it unless it's complete and I believe in it. So we're working on them. We're analyzing them. So here's all the tools again. We just reviewed these, and the tools package itself is about $297. And to be honest with you, I think the real estate landlord guide sheet is probably worth that alone, just for trying to find it in each state. I can't tell you how long it took me to do because I wanted to do that one. I was the who, and that was a painful who. All right, so you also get these. Now you get some fictional models. I might be able to get you a couple actual ones, actually. Some very an investment model pack, and what it is it's sample deals. Good one. You need to know what a good one looks like, and you need to know what a bad one looks like. And we're going to give you some samples so that way you've seen it. So that way when you're presented with one, you're not caught off guard. We want you to be prepared. And I will change those out for you and keep those updated as the market changes, because like you all know, real estate changes. 6 months ago, things were different from what they are today. Interest rates were different today than they were 3 days ago. And we want you to know, we want you to go out there and be professional. It's important to know what you're talking about. And this also allows you to leverage other people's expertise on how to break a deal down. It's already been done for you. You're just leveraging it and using it in front of your clients when the time calls. Okay. So you're probably asking yourself, I thought this guy was telling me that I don't have to learn all this stuff. And you're right. You don't have to learn it all. You do not have to learn it to the depth that a syndicator does. And the syndicator is the who that is putting all of us together to go buy the property. Again, it's a who. They have to know it to a level and a knowledge that they know every moving piece. It's kind of like a general contractor needs to know every piece, but then they get specialists who come and help things. It's kind of like that. And we need you to know the basics so that when you're in front of your clients, you know what you're talking about and you can present it. That way they're impressed and they see what you see. They see the bigger picture. They see that, oh, you know what? I need help getting from this greenhouse to that big red house. Oh, I see the light. And you've presented it to them. So we're getting you the Cliff Notes versions on how to do that. Yeah? On deal analysis. You're getting the Cliff Notes version on deal analysis. Okay. So for that, that investment model pack is about $197. And again, I update that as the market changes. So you'll always have access. And we'll send those to you, of course. So here's what you're going to get. The Shift Masterclass, $2,997. The Tools Package, which there's several more in the works, it's $297. The Investment Models Pack, $197. So you can see the total value so far up to $3,491. Don't ask me on the math. That's math I can't handle. I can only handle math when it comes into passive income. So this one is hugely important. Let me just put it all up here real quick. Okay. So this is one of the many perks, but it's a huge important perk because it allows you to start getting the real value. You're going to get hours of training and tons of network opportunities inside of my Facebook mastermind group. Some of my Facebook mastermind group friends are in Aruba right now talking multifamily real estate. You're going to have a connection to those people. They're there. They all traveled on their own dime, and they're just talking about how to be better at doing this one thing, getting to units. Number of units with a little bit of time equals wealth. So they're trying to decrease the time by adding the number of units. And those are the people I can connect you with. Many of them here are watching us because they want your support. They need your help. They need a who, just like us. We're the who, right? We're going to help you gain ways to get your clients' money into multifamily apartment investing. And this is all done legally. We help provide the legal paperwork. The legal paperwork alone can be anywhere from low end, about $8,000, on the high end, $25,000. We help provide that for each deal. So you don't have to worry about handling the legal side of that paperwork. We have an SEC attorney that does it for each deal. That's something you don't have to worry about. And what this does, it will help you eliminate the deal hunting process. So people are going to put things in front of you and say, hey, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this. And you don't have to go out and hunt for them yourself because that takes an extraordinary amount of time. Most people are thinking they go through about 100 deals, place an offer on 3, and hopefully they're getting 1 right now as the market sits. So it's very tedious. What we do is I've already met these people and I know them personally. I know the kinds of deals that they're putting in front of you. So I've sort of pre-vetted them for you, save you some time. Okay, maybe you're not comfortable trying new things. And I assure you, this is nothing new. This is only new to you. And it's the sort of real estate investing that will create incredible wealth. We have put together a platform that gives realtors and multifamily syndicators a place to unite. And this is where the magic will happen. How exciting is that? It's like that kid back at Disneyland. There I am again. I'm so pumped. Okay. The Facebook group, we put a value on it, but let's be honest, actually it's priceless. The number of deals that you're going to see and have opportunity and access to is incredibly priceless. Again, $75,000 and I made 50. Ridiculous, right? What if you put in $150,000? I have $1.5 million ready to go. You know what that's going to do for my life? I'm just looking for the right who to place that money into. So, okay. So again, here's what you get. You've got our class, you've got the tools package, you've got the investment models pack, you've got the Facebook mastermind, and we're not done yet. You also get a strategic partnership. This is the one I am the most excited about, okay? I have spent years, a ridiculous amount of time building my network, and I'm gonna give it to you. You know, this one is, like I said, it's the most one I'm most excited about this. And as we talked before, everything is networking. And I'm giving you my network as part of this package. These people are incredibly excited to work with you, to work with me. We are a who that is very vital to their continued growth, because no matter how wealthy they are, they run out of their own money and they need additional investors to come in. We're providing the investors. So seriously, these people are looking to make money and they're super anxious to speak with you. One company we're in connections with has 700 properties. 700 properties that they're going after. You know how much money they need? It's mind-boggling. They're looking to us to be one of their main who's. So, you know, okay. So I don't want you to be like me. When I first started, you know, I was naive. I knew my stuff. So I signed up to be a soldier. I took orders and I followed a general. Just happened that general didn't quite know what he was doing so much. And what I needed was my Obi-Wan Kenobi to show me the path. Well, this guy's showing me that he's on the path further down the road, and I wasted months, like almost a year. And I did incredible things with him. Fortunately, no money was lost. I was able to make everyone whole, but I wasted time. So don't be like me and waste time. You know, again, I needed a who, and that who was the wrong one. So you're going to be able to get my part of my network. So I partnered with people that have the abilities from the Avengers, right? The people that have the abilities and the teamwork to provide the big takedown. And as soon as I got that right, $52 million property, bam, boom. Even my mentor is like, Ruben, that's badass. What? That's the closest thing to a compliment I've ever gotten from that guy. You know, I get like, what? My mentor said that's badass. And, oh, you know, I almost give myself a pat on the back. But like I said, that first partnership was painful, man. It cost me so much time, aggravation, sleepless nights. Ugh, I don't wish that on any of you. I don't want that on any of you. So I regrouped. I focused all my energy on networking, and that's when that network came together. And I've been adding to it every day. I do it every day. I'm on the phone talking with people, breaking bread with them, going across the country, connecting with them. And there's just huge opportunities. So I want to give that to you. And you remember, you need the who. This is a very big part. Multiple who's, one place. I can give it to you. I know I'm hitting this one hard yet, but have I made my point yet? So this allows you to break through into what you'll believe is something of a skull and crossbones type world. It's like there's a big secret, and honestly, you haven't found them yet. You haven't connected with them yet. I can get you there faster. Oh geez, I skipped forward a little fast there, didn't I? Let me back up one step here. So it's like I said, our network. I already talked about that. It also connects you to people who know how the system works. So again, it's part of our who. Okay. We might be thinking you can build your own network, and you can. You're right. Let me ask you this. Do you change your own oil? I can change my oil. My dad taught me how to do it when I got my first car, and he's like, okay, son, let's learn how to change your oil. First you go buy the oil, then you get the parts, then you get the car up. Before I know it, half a day is gone. I lost time. Or I pay the people that change oil for a living and have the setup for it. I pay them. I'm in and out in 15 minutes. My who is powerful. You can go build your own network. That's great. If you can, fantastic. I applaud you. Connect with me anyway, and maybe we can all build more together. But I can save you time if you don't have a network, especially one that's outside of your market. Outside. And if you're in a market that we need help with, You can come to us and I can bring you more who's. It's all about teamwork. Teamwork. We're the Avengers. We're taking down Thanos. He's dead. Let's have a party. And we're not going to lose anyone along the way. So here we go. The strategic partnership, let's be honest, I had to put a value on it, but it's priceless. I have spent years putting it together and making it better. And I am not done. It's a constant progress and improvement in there. I can't rest until it's great. And right now it's great. So I'm not done. And I want to give it to you. So again, this whole thing, if we put it all together, whoo, that's an expensive price tag. I couldn't do this and ask for it. However, if all I did was ask that much money and you put $75,000 in, you're going to make that much back. And it's not even your money, right? Because you're putting in somebody else's $75,000. So if all I did was get you that, if all I did was that, could you help your clients more? Could you sell houses and make more? Could you sell houses, make more, and then put that money to work, earning even more? You know, I want to teach you all about the multifamily investing. It's a skill that'll help you build generational wealth so that if something happens to you, you get sick, or you're afraid of getting sick and dying and leaving your family in a bad spot because your insurance, life insurance, your death benefit isn't what you want it to be, you still have a way to provide, even in your absence. Okay? If all I did was connect you with professional investors who can help you to get to the finish line in a fraction of the time, wouldn't it be worth it? You don't have to spend years doing this like I did. You won't get as many gray hairs as I've got, right? What would it be worth to you? What would it be worth to you have peace of mind knowing that you provided generational wealth? The ones you leave behind are taken care of. What is it worth? To me, it's worth everything. I would give everything for my family. They're my why. That's why they're my first picture to show you. And the best part is, I'm making passive income. I'm making money whether I'm awake or I'm asleep, having fun, not having fun. I'm making a few bucks. A few bucks is now multiplying, and it's getting me further faster. It changed my earning power. It will change yours. What would it do for you? So okay. This course, we're talking about the price. Super expensive, right? No, we're going to get to it. But here's what we had to decide. We had to decide, go two paths. Either I make it super cheap and everybody can afford it, and then there's no incentive for me to continue to update the giveaways, the tools, everything that we're including, because it's going to cost me just as much to give those away as it would to produce them if we went really cheap. And it just presents a problem. So the thing is, I want to make it worth everyone's time. It's important to me. So now, our second choice was to raise the price just a little bit and give you absolutely everything you need. I'm not going to nickel and dime you. I'm not going to come back and say, oh, it's a la carte. You get this, and then you get this, and then you get this, and then you get this. Okay, now you got the whole package. No, it's one and you're done. You've got everything you need to get you the path on helping your clients get from the little greenhouse to the big red house. So the way I see it, you've got two choices. You have two choices. Your first option, do nothing, keep the faith, which is 100% risk-free. Or your second option, you invest with us today. You come and you get return for your value. Give us a shot. If you see that this doesn't work for you after you've completed the course, no problem. We'll give you your money back. That's right. Money back if this doesn't work for you once you finish up our course, and we'll give you your money back. There's no risk. You've got nothing to lose except stress and headaches. So come and join us. Oh, there we go. I should have added those up sooner. So come on, let's go for it here. The multifamily shift, there is the value. I'm giving you a discount though today. You've made it all the way to the end of this webinar. I'm super grateful. And that would be our regular price. And again, we're not done. Okay. So today, all I need you to do is just follow the link at the end of the slide. Don't worry, I'll send it along to you in an email. All you need to do is reply via email. You get the courses, everything that we've talked about here for $1,997. Boom, there's the link. For $2,000, less than $2,000. I made more than that off of placing $75,000. Would this be worth it for you today? Sign up with us. There's no risk. Like I said, we'll give your money back if it doesn't work for you. We have our guarantee. So I want you to think about something for a minute. What is money? A lot of people have a fear about money, and even bigger fears about spending money. But you need to understand that money is good. It's just a tool created for exchange. Other than that, there's no real value. You can't eat it. You can't sleep with it. You can't use it to keep warm unless you burn it, and that's not good. You can only trade it for something else that you want. Just think. Everyone who exchanges money is doing something. Is doing so because it does something for them that'll get them a certain feeling. It'll get them something that they need in greater exchange. So I hope that's making sense. You feel like I'm rambling here, but I know you follow me because we all think about this a lot as realtors. And again, I've got my guarantee right here for you. It's important to me. So I ask you, okay. I'm getting myself a little excited here. I'm all over the place. I don't know actually for sure until I do buy something and try it out and see the results, if I like it a lot of times. But my question for you is, what would you exchange that money for if those results were given guaranteed? If the answer is yes, then you need to get started right now. And if you have any fear that it may not be what you expected, or that you might not be able to get those results, just let us know and we'll give you your money back. So come and join us. We've got the link for you. And the last thing is, actually I've got a couple last things. Is the gamble worth a few minutes of your time to check us out? Even if only of what I've claimed does half of what I'm saying, you could potentially do this in 45 days and change your life. It worked for me. Again, I'm compressing time. To make sure you get started right, I want to give you a bonus today for a strategy call, 30 minutes. We want to make sure you get started on the right foot. You'll be speaking with me, and we'll get you on the right path. So don't hesitate on taking me up on that. It's a huge advantage to you. I wish I would have had it when I would have first started. So the fast track bonus, you hit the ground running. You might think that this is too complex or you don't have any investors. I was completely new to real estate a very short time ago, completely new. And I didn't have the help of a team. You're going to have us in your corner. We'll be providing you assistance the entire way. And that's why we have that bonus there to make sure you get started on the right foot. And of course, we get the value there, the $497, because when you average it out, my time is right about that. Is actually going up as I close another deal, which is super exciting. I'll share that one once it's all done. I can't do it yet. Okay, so here's what you get. Boom, boom, boom. You've got all of these things. Here's the total. And again, it's only $1,997. So once you've been through this training and you have everything set up, you can say goodbye to the stress of spending weeks or even months working for a client only to be cut out. Remember my story? You'll never have to worry about relying entirely on your commission checks for your paydays. And can you imagine what life will be like when those things are instantly wiped away? They disappear from your life. What will you do with all that extra time and energy? And you'll have money on top of it. Super exciting. So come and join us. Here is everything one last time, just so you see what we're getting you. I don't want there to be any illusions that I'm holding back. And I'll constantly be adding to this as I have new things that I think you need and as I get feedback. So come and join us. Again, the multifamilymigration.com/special offer/shift. And we're going to send you that link in an email as well. I hope to see you on the inside. Thank you so much. I'm super pumped. I can't wait to connect with you because, like I said, we have multiple deals in our pipeline. They need money. We're going to solve their problem and solve other people's problems, solve our clients' problems, solve the syndicator's problem. And along the way, we're going to get paid pretty well for doing it. Come and join me. See you soon. Don't forget, multifamily at the multifamily migration or at the multifamily move. You can see us there. See you soon. Bye.